There it is, classic. Live to Twitch, it says unstable connection. Live to YouTube, it says excellent connection. And I've got a big red line on Twitch saying this is bad, and a big green dot on YouTube that says this is great. Sort it out, Twitch. CB, what's going on? How's it going? Happy Friday. Holy crap. This week has flown by. Flown by. Which I'm not too mad at because I'm low-key wishing the time away right now just because going to Japan in a few weeks. So I'm excited. Bum, 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 bum. You seen? Do you play video games? Did you play Baldur's Gate? There's a new D&D style game that's doing the rounds in the news, which I'm quite excited about. Which is this Solasta 2 game. Mr. Zeta, how's it going? Yeah, this popped up on my feed like yesterday or the day before, and it was just like, there's a new Baldur's Gate 3, and I was like, what? And then I looked into it, and like the articles were, there's a new D&D game, and I was like, no, there's not. I would have heard about that. And it's like, it's a game that is built on the D&D mechanics. It's not by D&D. It's not like a D&D game, but by God, it pretty much is. I mean, check this out. And tell me it doesn't remind you of Baldur's Gate 3.
Fancy seeing you here. Welcome to Torwen.
It doesn't look as good as Baldur's Gate 3, in my opinion.
Who's this Jabori you're so worried about?
It looks like
I
it.
haven't heard from him for too long. I've got a bad feeling.
Everyone look. Swimming under the bridge.
You've played the demo, or are you telling me to play the demo?
Careful, I heard something.
Yeah, like everything from like the combat, the animations, the dice roll is very similar to D&D.
Perhaps we can help.
There it is.
Don't bother us. We don't bother you.
Are you Jabori?
Can you help me?
And this is the second game. They had a first game in like 2000. Oh, you played it? How was it? I've got it downloaded. I was going to play it today, but I don't know if I'll have time, so I might play it Monday. Does it feel like Baldur's Gate 3, or is it its own game? Hang on, I want to go back to that dice roll. So there's the combat. And then...
the critters. Perhaps we can help you.
Difficulty class 14. 20 persuasion. But yeah, it's absolutely D&D. Absolutely. So I'm kind of excited about that. It'd be nice to, because Baldur's Gate 3 has that update coming out, hopefully in the next few months, where they have cross-platform and new subclasses. So I don't know how this channel would react if I live streamed playing Baldur's Gate 3. I think you guys would either like it or hate it, right? So I might give it a go. Same system. Yeah, as in it's based on D&D. It's based on the D&D rule set. Like rolling D20, the combat, all that stuff. Have I taken a look at Ember from Founder VTT? They did a stream, I think, a day ago. No, what's Ember? Looking forward towards new subclasses. Look, I'm like very excited just for like that to have like a resurgence again, because it was great when Baldur's Gate 3 was everywhere. The reality is I only ever played two subclasses the first time round. I've only ever played it through once. So this will be me going back, trying a new subclass, and playing through it again. And I'll probably stream it. Because why not? Why not? But the first time I tried playing a Ranger for the first half. Then I switched to Bard. And then played the last half Bard. So I think this time round, I kind of want to just go... I don't know. I want to figure out how I want to be... Like, who do I want in my party? And then from there, I'll just fill. I'll just choose the subclass that suits the party. In-house 5e based New World and integration of systems. In-house 5e based. Yeah, but it's not a... It's just a... Is it like the VTT? So you went masochist and fun. Yeah, I did, yeah. Because I like the idea of Rangers in like fantasy. But it often doesn't live up to the hype whenever I play in anything. You play Ranger? Rangers are just cool. Like I like the personality traits of Rangers. How are you guys doing? It's Friday. It's D&D night for me. I am DMing tonight at 7 o'clock. So no matter what, this is going to be a short stream. Like I've got to jump off. I've got to prep everything. I mean, I prepped most of it, but I've got to like sort out the space. I've got to clean. So whatever happens, this stream ends at 6. Whatever happens. But yeah. When was the last time you guys, like, played D&D? What are we talking? You guys weekly? You run on Sundays? Nice. Are Sundays good days for it? I've never really thought of Sunday as a good day because everyone's back in work on Monday. See, it doesn't often happen, but I like the opportunity for everyone to have one too many drinks and for everyone to be a little bit hungover the next day. I like that opportunity. So Fridays are really good for that because on Friday, if you've had a bad week and you want an extra drink or a beer, then you can do that and have no regrets. 7 to 9 hours. Get out of town. That's crazy. It's been a week for you, Flam, but you had to cancel your session today. Oh, sorry, that's annoying as hell. Or you'd be running one today, yeah. You do Saturdays. I think Saturdays are good days for it. But it gets in the way of, like, other people doing things as well. Because Saturdays are usually a busy day for everyone. I hate to say it, but I think Critical Role have nailed it. I think Thursday might be probably the best D&D night. Because it's close enough to the end of the week. Close enough to Friday. You just continue that D&D fun into Friday, and then it's the weekend. You're good to go. But in a few weeks, you're going to look around Discord and find a game online tonight. Well, good luck. I hope you find it. You have players in New Zealand, Argentina, Ukraine, Oz, and Midwest US. Holy, that's a global game. Buy some pizzas. Nice. I'm 37, play since you were 14. Holy, that is a career. What's up, Casey? How's it going? Sunday, 1 o'clock works as best as it can for all. Yeah. What is the best time and day to play D&D? And the answer is when all your players can make it. 4 to 8 people. Ooh. 8 people's a lot. I would love to do an 8-person. I would love to do an 8-person game. I think it would come with its own set of challenges, mostly just trying to give everyone spotlight and making sure combat runs fast. But if you have a bunch of players who like role-playing, I reckon that is a lot of fun. You prefer to play D&D when none of your players can make it. It's the best time. That's just Baldur's Gate. My wife really refuses to call me Dungeon Daddy. I'm sorry, man. That's hard. What's up, Cat the Mow? Speaking of wives, that is my wife. You and Dragonlance on Fantasy Grounds every Saturday. 6 players across the US. Nice. But yeah, this Solasta 2 game, I think I'm going to download it, download the demo, and play it on Monday probably, and test it out, because it looks incredibly similar to Baldur's Gate 3, in a sense. So what's up, Dungeon Daddy? Old Double D? Have I ever DM'd a game for my in-laws? No, I have not. Cat them out, do you think your parents would enjoy D&D? I'm not sure. DD. You can call me Double D, Dungeon Daddy. All right. I got a few things I want to look at today. Like a few things. I got a few tabs open at the top up there. The first one was I did want to talk about this Solasta 2 game, but there's really not much to talk about. There's genuinely just a trailer until I go and play the actual demo. I don't know, but people seem to like it, so it's something to be excited for. I hope there's like a really good character creation side of the demo that I can really dig into and spend just hours in. I really do. Your parents have only just gotten used to my accent. That's true, yeah. Have I ever done a pirate campaign? I have. I did a one shot. That was technically a 3-shot. A few months ago. That was all pirate based. And honestly, pirates are fun. Pirates are just fun. There's no two ways about it. Casey, you did one for your parents-in-law, and they liked it. That's awesome. Damn, you didn't get a notification. I do wonder what Twitch is playing at with notifications. To be honest. Because, wait, actually, can I? Maybe I can force one out if it didn't send it. We'll see if that does it. But honestly, YouTube feels so much better for like getting people's attention when I go live. How's it going, Dan? All right, so the other stuff on my list are that I've got some articles here that I want to look at just quickly. There's this one that is 35 great D&D puzzle ideas, and I kind of just want to run through that and see what they're saying. I've not looked at that yet. There's a really interesting article that I caught oh my God, the ads on these websites, man. There's this one which is saying that a math nerd proves D&D's new monsters hit 40% harder. And I'm like, I kind of want to skim through that and find out exactly what's going on there, because if that number's true, that's interesting. The other stuff I have up here is the Critical Role stuff that I do want to go into. And then I have this here. This is just me complaining at this point. The Monster Manual has technically been out for a few days, but not technically. Just matter of fact, it's been out for like 3 weeks. Like this whole, like, you can, if you pre-order it, you get early access is rubbish. It's just like you can just buy it and have it. Thank you for the subscription, Kijoi. Why am I not getting... Oh no, hold on, that was from yesterday. Forget that. Ooh, it's embarrassing. I had the wrong thing open. This is really annoying because the Monster Manual has been out for weeks, and yet the Encounters builder on D&D Beyond still isn't updated. Encounters beta calculates difficulty using 2014 rules. For 2024 calculations, create encounters in maps. And I don't want to create encounters in maps because it's not a fun experience. So I don't know what they're playing at, but they need to fix this. I'm paying them money. I'm subscribing to D&D Beyond so that I can use their encounter builder. And alas, I cannot. No, it's not like I embarrassed myself on stream. You know, I once, when I was streaming, before I had a D&D channel, during COVID, I tried video game streaming. And I remember playing a game with a few other people, like other streamers, and I had the other streams up. And I was like keeping an eye on them because I wanted to know when we were going to start the game. So I was like watching another stream on the side monitor, and then I was chatting to chat, but I had like no one in there. So I was just really like trying to like, I don't know, waffle. And then I see at the side of my thing, so-and-so just raided with like 60 people, which was more people than I've ever seen in my life. So I panic and I start going, oh my God, thank you for the raid. This is awesome. You're the best. And I talk for like a full minute to these raiders. And then I realize I'm looking at someone else's chat and that someone else got raided and that I still had 0 people in my chat. And I was just like, oh no. End stream, delete VOD, never happened. And it's obvious when I'm embarrassed because I go bright red. I go bright red. Oh no, where is this going? Nothing bad, it was just, yeah, just embarrassment, just streaming embarrassment. So probably not a stream. You should look at kinks and cantrips. Mechanically, it's so well designed. Right, I've not watched the video yet, but I saw that D&D Shorts did a video on it. So, and I have no idea how, like, adult it is, but I presume a lot. Oh no, I got secondhand embarrassment. Yeah, it really was one of those moments where, you know, when just your life ends for a second, it just goes black. That's what happened. Oh, you bought the book. Interesting. It's very adult. Was it a Kickstarter? Or is it by like an actual publishing studio? All right, let's take a look at these puzzle ideas. Because I do need some puzzles. I often struggle coming up with puzzles, to be honest. I think puzzles in D&D are very difficult to pull off because you want it to be a little bit of a challenge for the players outside of the game, but also a challenge for the players' characters inside the game. And the players inside the game are rolling to do things, and the players outside the game are like using their own mental ability to do it. So it's like, if you have a player who's like dumb, but they're playing a really smart wizard, how do you make it so that it's easy for the dumb person to figure something out because their wizard is smart? I've never been quite able to pull that off. First one was on Kickstarter. Second one also finished a couple of weeks ago on Kickstarter. Ooh, how much money they're making? How much money they're making over there? I see some Kickstarters nowadays, and they are millions of dollars to make a book. It's crazy. I'm the dumb person wizard. I'm the dumb person, and I usually play dumb characters because of it. 100k, I believe. That's not. I would love to know. I should ask someone who's done it, because I would genuinely love to know what the profit margins are on that. Like, how much does it make to? Is it like 60k to make a book, like, and publish it and send it out? So did the team profit 40k, or does the whole thing cost 100k? I have no idea. Player asks for something that a 20 intelligence wizard could do without knowing how. Yeah. Well, I like the idea of handing, like, and I know some people do, like, riddles out, or like actual puzzles, physical puzzles that they can do at the table. But then they're not even playing D&D anymore. They're just doing a crossword or a Sudoku or something. But I like that. I like merging games. But then, like, yeah, it's difficult. Well, let's see what these puzzles are about. Blow your players' minds with a mindscape. For players who have experienced a lot of D&D, it can be hard to surprise them. Yeah. Wait, what? To turn players' expectations on their heads, sending them somewhere the normal rules don't apply can shock and engage them out of their normal patterns of behavior. Mindscapes, sometimes referred to as dreamscapes, are reality that exists completely within a creature's psyche and thus are able to follow whatever rules Dungeon Master wants to enforce. Okay, so if I'm right in thinking, this would be like sending them to a realm where gravity is a lot lower so they can jump really high. Or when they roll dice, it's the opposite. So if they roll a nat 20, that's the worst thing that can happen. If they roll a nat 1, that's the best thing that can happen. That's fun. I wouldn't really call it a puzzle, though. Flooding chambers are a time trap with a twist. Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic. I don't think I've ever fully pulled out a timer in a D&D game, but I'm not against it. Like, if you're like, you guys literally have 2 minutes to figure this out before this chamber fills with water, I'm down to do that. I think timers are okay with that to add pressure, as long as they're not like the absolute end all. And I do not think you should time combat goes. You like that idea about a nice puzzle? Yeah. The Dreamscapes one. One-way passages force players to explore more recklessly. Probably not much exploration in one-way passages. A one-way passageway is a great way to push characters to make choices that push caution to the side. While low-level characters can be discombobulated with a simple one-way door or a pit to a tunnel trap, high-level variations can include magic doorways or passageways too small for the whole party. Okay, so this is just talking about doors, I guess. I wouldn't say it's a puzzle again. An illusion of a trap provides the danger without the damage? That sounds less fun. But that's true, yeah. You know how sometimes people have, like, they put up, like, security CCTV cameras, and they're not connected to anything, they're just there as a deterrent? You could do that with traps. Like, I can see in a D&D world someone drawing magic runes on the floor that looks like a trap to stop people from trying to enter something, but really they're not runes at all. They're not magic at all. They're just there to make you not want to step on it. But I feel that might disappoint my players, because I know it's like Matthew Mercer from the chair stuff. My players would be like, we can't step on that. It's obviously a trap. And then they would spend like 20 minutes trying to get around it, and then one of them will step on it and nothing happens. And I think that would be, they'd be annoyed by that. That would be a waste of time. You had a player read and sign one of 2 contracts with a 5-minute timer. You pull out a timer just to scare them, and after it was, oh, I shrugged my shoulders and put it away. That's so mean. Didn't explain anything. They were terrified. That's like the random secret dice rolls that we do behind our DM screen for no reason. I only add the timer in non-combat scenarios and when the whole scene is supposed to go fast, strictly to avoid players strategizing what was supposed to be a reaction decision. That's fair, yeah. You want time to be a thing, indeed. Give your trap a speaking role? Like, as an NPC? Yeah. Yeah, make your trap sentient. Once again, not a puzzle as much, but a fun idea. Gentleman's Doorway requires proper behavior. Sometimes the most obscure ideas can make for the best D&D puzzles, since players probably won't recognize these puzzles, traps, and their inner workings. These obscure original traps don't have to be complicated, such as the Gentleman's Door. The Gentleman's Door creates a double of any player character who wishes to pass through into the desired room, and the double always mimics the PC's movements. The solution is for the player to yield to the gentleman double rather than force their way through. Oh, interesting. That's fun. That's a puzzle. As long as you make it clear that you need to be a gentleman, the double will reciprocate this kindness and step aside to let the player through first. I quite like that, to be honest. That's fun. Like, you would like have a little plaque or thing, something at the front of this doorway that says, only gentlemen can pass through. And then, yeah, you would have like another version of you, or like some kind of creature that will block your path no matter what you try and do, unless you let it go first. That's kind of fun. Painting passwords can be assembled for solutions. Painting passwords. Passwords are the basis of many simple but fun D&D puzzles, such as solving riddles where the answer is the password. Another idea is to break up the password into pieces and challenge the party to find and assemble the components of a password or passphrase. Yeah, I like that. Different parts of the answers to the puzzle are in different areas. Chain door lifting puzzles. I don't think I want to do 28 of these. Did I already miss Critical Role video? Was it just one I was filming? That 2-minute one? No, we're gonna like look at the home games from them. Which one was he filming? Which one was that, Rogue? He had a paralegal mate write them. It was overwhelming and see how far. Had a little chaos. So on this morning on Liam O'Brien's channel, I think I've got that up. But yeah, the Orion stuff's really interesting to me. Really interesting to me. The missing member of Critical Role. But no, we've not got to that yet, Rogue. We're just looking at some puzzle stuff. Solving cryptics can allow players to show their cleverness. False pillar supports can hide new secrets. I don't think most of these are puzzles. Puzzle cubes can be modified to challenge players. The Tomb of Annihilation module has plenty of huge dungeons and cool D&D puzzles, including the presence of puzzle cubes. In one sequence, the party must scour a city's temples for puzzle cubes depicting trickster gods, competing with the Red Wizard to find them. A DM could lift that puzzle straight out of Tombs. Yeah, well, what's the puzzle? Just putting images together, I guess. An Infernal Puzzle Box can hide treasures for players. A riddle sphinx or a doorway can allow creativity for players and DMs. Yeah, riddles are always fun. But riddles are more... That's a player thing than a player character thing. But no, I don't think these are even puzzles. An empty-handed statue can confound players. It's kind of a puzzle. Like the statue's supposed to be holding something. It's not. Put something there. I've done that before where I've done... I like... You know what I like in puzzles? I like making characters or making my players' characters sacrifice resources to get through. So, for example, I did this puzzle once where there was like an altar. I think I stole this straight up from Baldur's Gate 3. There's an altar that needs blood to go inside it to open a door. So one of the players, they can either get creative and try and find blood somehow, or they have to cut their own wrist or damage themselves and lose HP to put blood in this altar and the door to open. And that's fun because then all the players are like, well, who has the most HP? Who's willing to lose some HP? And you can do the same thing with spell slots as well. Like you could put a door needs a spell slot to unlock or something like that. And that way, it's a puzzle. They've got to figure it out. And after it, they're now like the whole party is slightly weaker, which is what you want. An unexpected clone can wreak havoc in D&D parties. Not a puzzle, but good. The Pythagorean cup or greedy cup puzzles are classics for a reason. Fill the pool with dangerous liquid like boiling water, lava, acid, and commission players to get something from the bottom of the pool. Oh, that's cool. I do actually like that. Yeah. Like, the door is locked, but you see a key at the bottom of a pool of acid. What do you do? That's really fun. I actually really like that, because that's great fun. Can we sue CBR for misleading us? I don't think so. I think they're untouchable. Out-of-place monsters add an element of surprise. Timed puzzles increase tension for players. River crossing puzzles have their roots in antiquity. Just getting across a river? Water pouring puzzles. Countdown can be a great practical joke when timed correctly. Mirror puzzles can reveal clues to players. Oh, like they see something in the mirror that's not in the real world, and they can kind of use that to their advantage. Plates on the floor can hide they're just traps. They are just traps. Weighing your problems puzzles are simple but elegant. Judge and jury makes players determine the culprit. I like the idea of there being something that really is just the play. Like they need to decide if someone's guilty or innocent in like a jury, like in a courtroom, and like there's no consequence except the players get to explore their characters' like belief systems when it comes to morality and what's right and wrong, which is interesting. The truth can open up new possibilities in D&D campaigns. What? All right, let's just get to the top 5. A living dollhouse can turn ordinary dungeons inside out. It's kind of creepy. Venn diagram puzzles bring party members. This is I don't like to be a negative Nancy, but this is a bad article. Why choose 35? You do a top 10 and you go into more detail. Games of confidence subvert play expectations. I was expecting just a list of like, number 1, one guard is lying, one guard is telling the truth, you know? D&D goes to court. Beware the Pinkertons. Invisible pathways force players to get creative or very, very lucky. Additive, subtractive color puzzles contain layers in Dungeons and Dragons. What? Colors have always played a major role in different types of symbolism, so much so that they can even be a language unto themselves. It is this concept that additive and subtractive color puzzles make use of, and often to more than memorable effects. Typically, additive and subtractive color puzzles, blah, 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 blah. When stacked on top of one another or arranged in a certain fashion, the combination of these colors create new colors and can reveal clues. Bruh. I think this is AI. Hold on, who wrote this? Oh, it's by people. There's human names here. Well, if it's not AI, I take it back. But yeah, I feel a little underwhelmed by this. But what can you do? What can you do? D&D best puzzle ideas. And then it's got stuff in the top 10 that is like long distance statues can open many doors. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get rid of that. Let's see if Wargamer has better luck. Because this is interesting to me. Math Nerd proves D&D's new monsters hit 40% harder on average. Now, I know they hit harder. I'm confident that they hit harder. 40% seems insane. Much has been made of the scarier monsters in D&D Monster Manual, with designers touting the jaw-dropping might of challenge rating monsters like the Blob of Annihilation. This analysis, published by to Dunn's website, the finished book, shows that while the new D&D monsters are a little stronger across the board than their decade-old counterparts, there's one area they really excel, dishing out a world of hurt. According to Dunn's data, damage per round is where the buffs to monsters in the new D&D book become particularly noticeable. To be more specific, nearly 3/4 of the monsters deal more damage in 2025 than they did in 2014, and the gulf between monsters old and new only widens with higher CRs. And then there's some graphs, which I'm not going to pretend to understand. On balance, that's probably good news. There was a few, yeah. In comparison to damage, other gains made by 2025 monsters have been marginal. Yeah. So it's legendary monsters that are really hitting harder. Along with damage, which is probably the statistic both players and DMs alike are most interested in, the one on the start which has really rocketed up in the new Monster Manual is initiative. That's true. Yeah. And I like that a lot as a DM. Let me go first. Are you getting a bunch of ads on YouTube? You're getting more ads from just this Wargame website as well. I kind of need to hit harder due to the power creep in players' options. Yeah. So basically, the BBEG is stronger, and that pulls the average up. Yeah, that's kind of what they're saying, right? It's just the really high level CR guys that are hitting harder. In my limited research, playing around with it, what I've noticed is like, it's not so much that they're hitting harder, but they're negating a lot of the loopholes that players had. Like I did the short talking about my last session where one of my players is a barbarian when they're raging, they have resistance to all like physical damage, and I kept throwing creatures at them leading up to the new Monster Manual that were just throwing out mostly physical damage. That's on me. You know, I should have been like looking at the party and being like, okay, I know I can't. Ooh. Thank you for the subscription, Ildor. Huge. Yeah. The new Monster Manual, I used a creature that would normally only throw out physical damage, and I would have had the same issue. The Barbarian would have been resistant to most of the attacks. But now, that creature also did lightning damage as well as physical damage. And I downed the Barbarian for the first time in this campaign without changing anything. I didn't change the way I was playing. I just did the same thing. I put as much prep in. The monster did the same amount of damage, but because it now did lightning damage as well as physical damage, it just changed the entire game. I'm a big fan of that, and I'm looking forward to playing with more monsters to see if that's like across the board. I wonder if the majority actually hit around 40% harder, or if it's a Spider's Gorge situation. I don't know what the Spider's Gorge is, but if it's what I presume it is, that like it's just the high up people, like skewing the average results, I think that's the case. Because I've looked through the Monster Manual. Yeah, it's downstairs, but I've looked through the Monster Manual, and there's like a lot of monsters look exactly the same. It's like they get an initiative boost, and they get different damage, and they get a few like rejiggled wordings. So I don't believe that. But maybe. I'll have to give this article a proper read through later to see. But I mean, it even says here, well, it's obviously impossible to perfectly compress all the foibles and abilities of each D&D monster into hard numerical data. It should be said that Dunn has an impressive system for taking into account abilities, which could make his analysis more accurate than others. Either way, the findings are certainly interesting. You should definitely check out the Monster Math for yourself. Is there a link to his stuff? Okay, it is a full-on thesis. Conclusion. Summarized in most ways, Monster Manual 2024 monsters appear to be built to the same targets as Monster Manual 2014 monsters, with a few exceptions. The average saving throw bonus now scales slightly slower, and legendary monsters are now built to have around 40% higher damage per round and 15% higher HP than a normal counterpart. So yeah, it is just legendary monsters. Oh my god, why can't I hell that? Just legendary monsters. So, we got clickbaited again, boys. What can we do? It's fine. I clickbait people all the time. So what do you gotta do? Is that a WWE table on the left? In here? Oh, you mean on here? Now, I don't know what table you're talking about, because you could be talking about a table that's like a graph, or you could be talking about these kind of tables, which I'm getting a lot of ads for because I looked at D&D game tables in my last stream, and now I'm seeing so many ads for D&D gaming tables. It's crazy. It's crazy. What's up, Cool Cylinder? How goes it? Spider's Gorge comes from a post on a Tumblr that says, average person eats 3 spiders a year. Sorry. Average person eats 3 spiders a year factoid is incorrect. Spider's Gorge, who eats over 10,000 every day, should not have been counted. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. One person just skewing the results completely. Mind if I pick everyone's brain before you get to the goods? Got a question about feelings on Spelljammer, specifically the speeds in the Astral Sea. Maybe someone else in chat can help with that. I've never played Spelljammer. Never played it. Nothing against it. It always seems to be a bit too on a fantastical, silly side of fantasy for me. But it looks fun. I like the idea of spaceships. You like the changes for spellcaster monsters? They seem easier to run. Yeah, I think so. I've spawned. What's happening, Arctic? Oh no. Cool Cylinder. You banged up your arm real good. Oof. But you're chilling. Thank goodness it's Friday. Friday and D&D night for me. So I'm really excited. My penultimate session. So we get through tonight, and then the final session is next week of this arc. Then I'm off to Japan for like 3 weeks. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to see if people want to keep playing or not, or what the plan is. Lord God, you have a question to ask as well. Ask away, sir. Got a party of 6 planning to run Stormwreck Isle. Should I bump the dragons to young from Wormlings? Oh, because you've got new. Why? You want to give them more of a challenge? A lot of people are disappointed by the rules, me included, feeling that they were rushed basic, and it feels like they only made it to allow characters to go from one world to another and not really exist in the astral plane for meaningful events. Oh, in Spelljammer? Oh yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all. I've only played D&D 3 times and I got no clue what that question is even about. Oh, the Spelljammer stuff? That's deep. You gotta wait until you hit double figures on your D&D games before you get introduced to the Spelljammer world. It's a deep cut. The players in your D&D game. Oh, sorry, my dog's grandma's friend died. Sad face. It's my girlfriend's birthday today, so we're gonna do an escape room. Ooh! I really like escape rooms, but I've only done maybe a handful of them in my life. I feel like I've probably done like 7 escape rooms in my life. But I love them. I've got no excuse on why I've not done more. No excuse. I think it's because you need to get people together. I played 5. It's enough of a challenge. I'm worried about 6 PCs will steamroll a Wormling. Yeah, you could just buff it a little bit. Make it do a little bit extra damage and give it a little bit extra health. Might sort it out. But since you're running Stormwreck Isle, are the players new? Are they new players to the game? Oh, thank God I was confused. Yeah, deep cuts. There's a lot of deep cuts in D&D. God, I would say just increase the Wormling's HP. A young dragon is a lot stronger than a Wormling. Yeah, it's better to... Don't overshoot it, I think. Oh, yeah. Cylinder. Yeah, it's my insecurity. Like, all DMs have insecurities of whether their players are having fun. And the way I get over it is I leave breaks between arcs. And then I'm like, do you guys want to keep playing? And then usually they're like, yeah. And I'm like, really? Okay. You like it? You really like it? What's happening, Yoda? Happy Friday. Solo Wormling is going to be easy for them. If you see that up front, that they're steamrolling other encounters, add some kobolds that come back from some trip. Yeah, that's a good idea. You can, like, literally during the combat, if it looks like they're destroying the dragon, just throw in something else. You also might get a musician you listen to interested in your campaign, so I might end up running my world with him. That's awesome. Is Stormwreck Isle good? Is it better than Lost Mines? That's a real question. One of your players is evil, but it's slowly getting connection to the good. Good. Monster HP is a range, not a set number. When I think something is too weak, I just give it the max HP you could get if you rolled for it. Yeah. What I would do is I would just bump everything up slightly. You know I've played Lost Mines, but having read both, Lost Mines is a better story. Yeah. Lost Mines will always have a special place in my heart. But I've not played Stormwreck Isle. There's just something about Lost Mines where it's like a great introduction. It's like you guys are on a wagon, you get attacked by some goblins, and there's an adventure. I also like it because there's combat instantly in that. Like, it's like you want to play D&D with some beginners, and you sit down at the table, and you have a scene where they're all in a wagon together, in a caravan, getting to know each other, and then bam, straight away combat. So you get introduced to like all of D&D almost instantly. And the new monster manual, so much better because the health is higher. Their stats are better, basically just everything better. Yeah. How's it going, Dandy? Yeah, honestly, I've not seen any major downside about the new monster manual, except the fact that they won't update D&D Beyond to have the encounter builder balanced, and I've seen a lot of the discourse about the fact that they're not talking about how to make your own monster, and I see the validity in that as well. But apart from that, I think the monster manual is great. Thanks to bonus section, you've def made it a better experience and story. Cheers, old chap. Oh, stop it, Casey. It's you. It's all you. It's always been you. Oh, you're playing Stormvec with 2024 rules and monsters. Interesting. That's difficult. That's a really difficult place to be because you don't know how much more powerful the players are compared to when it was first written, and you don't know how much more powerful the Wormling is now. I think you just gotta do it and see what happens. Maybe the people from D&D Beyond are spending all their time on their new VTT. I think that's absolutely what they're doing because the encounter builder isn't updated, but you can build encounters in maps now. So they're trying to get people on maps. But I've realized now that I'm saying this out loud, you're thinking of the 3D VTT, right? Project Sigil. I hope they're spending time on that because they said that was going to come out months ago and it's nowhere to be seen. It's in beta now. And like, I'm just like, it's probably not going to come out until 2026 at this rate. It's crazy. We're going to be in VR by the time that comes out. It's going to be a whole new, it's going to be a whole new world. Yeah, honestly, Casey is so right. How much I've taken for my videos. Oh, thanks. I just learn. I'm just learning. I'm just learning as well. I'm learning from other people, and I'm just spreading what my opinion. I was going to say my knowledge, but my opinions on it. I wish the new monster manual had links to certain aspects, like giving examples of creatures with lair actions. Yeah, that could be cool. PC life is cheap, it'll be fun. I don't want to DM, but making maps is so much fun. Dandy, you should just sell some maps. People make good money selling maps on Patreon. Like thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars a month from making professional maps on Patreon. Yeah, Project Sigil, what are my thoughts on it? Honestly, I like the idea of it. I'm not sure I'd use it because I play in person mostly, but if I played online, I think it would be really useful. I think it will be fun to build maps in there, but seeing it, I think it's going to be like, it's going to take a lot of hardware to run it. Like they say they want to get it on mobile, like so you could play it on your iPhone, and I'm like, good luck. There's no way. There's no way. And I think that's maybe what's taken it so long to come out. Because it's pretty, like, system heavy. As in, like, you need a good PC to use it. Afternoon, William. What's going on? They're going to be genetically engineering real dragons before this VTT comes out. Through that. Could you do commissions for maps? Yeah, anyone can do commissions for maps if they. I can't. I make bad maps. If I showed you the map that I've made right now, it is the most 4-year-old drawn thing ever, and I hang it up on the fridge so that we can grab it when we need it. The map of my world. It looks like I have a 3-year-old son that drew me a picture, and I'm like, no, that's my D&D map that I legitimately show to my players. Show us. No way, man. No. It's all the way downstairs. Maybe next stream. Yeah, I've made like two. I made another map for a one shot, and I literally used colored pens, and that does look like a child's drawing. The one I'm using now, I printed off like some randomized land that I made in Photoshop, like just some outline, and then we just draw places on there when they visit them. So it's building out. Do it now. No. I'm not getting enough free Prime subs to be doing that. I meant the other guy. Oh yeah, not me doing the maps. You have another hour and a quarter left of work, then I get to play D&D tonight and run my game tomorrow. Nice. Oh, you're DMing and playing in the same week. I'm bribing you to What's... Wait, hold on. Huge goofball. I will show you. I just don't know how much a sec is. You're paying with the Swedish krona. Okay. $8 Canadian is what you get. I'll go get it. 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Jesus Christ. Oh, making me run. Hi, YouTube. Yeah, I appreciate people who are watching me on both YouTube and Twitch right now. All right. Sold his soul for $8. Yeah, well. Now I feel bad. Imagine if I show you it and it's like the best map you've ever seen, and I'm like, this is so bad, and it's phenomenal. Don't worry, it's not that. All right, so do you guys want to see my better map first or my worst map first? What do you think? You hate the lag between them, but it's nice to let the commercials run on TV and switch to Twitch. What's the lag like? Is it big? Which one's faster? Worse first, better first. Real good news, bad news situation. Save the worst for last. Okay, better map first. Okay. So this is the map we've been using right now. So bad. For the past 6 weeks of this campaign, they've gone to this continent, and I just printed out this map. And then when they go places, we just write the places on the area's called Fen. It's like a true collaborative map that my players and I are making. So like they can come up with places and we can put it up in here, and then I will create the places when they go to them. But there's that one. So I printed, with this one, I printed out like the landmass, right? the bad one. But what you can do. Did I draw the landmasses? Yeah, I went into Photoshop and like, you can make shapes, obviously. But then you can add like a paintbrush texture to it, which gave it a weird shape, and it came up. It came out like this, fundamentally. This is my one that I did for a one-shot for the Infinite Staircase. This is the child's drawing one. That's all I want to show you. That's all I want to show you. I mean, you can just go back on YouTube and pause it, I guess, and look, but it's a child's drawing for sure. It's like just 2 roads. I wanted to give them an option of which way to go, left or right, but they all lead to the same place. Put that back. Missed it. There you go. Thanks for the $8. No, for real. Those $8 might have made it so that I can keep keep doing content creation for another year. I mean, if a goblin drew it and it was a handout, no, this was the best of my human 35-year-old man's ability. You think it's fine? That means a lot. Hey, look, a map doesn't have to look good. I'm done with that crap. I just need to communicate to my players the world. And yeah, we could just say the NPC drew it that gave it to them, and the NPC was an idiot and 2 years old. It was, it was just a map of Detroit. You don't get to play until March 14th. I hate Scar. That does suck. What is that? 2-3 weeks? Oh, that sucks. Sorry, man. Feel your pain. Can't get my group to play more often than once a month. Once a month's hard. Do you feel like you have to like play really long sessions if you're doing once a month? Yeah, is it functional and has some detail? Then it works. True that. I am not an artiste in any way, shape, or form. But I totally get people who really like making cool maps. I can see that. I feel like I've got like an ASMR thing where if I was watching someone spend hours just making this beautiful map, I would be like, I'd get that neck tingle. I appreciate it. It just couldn't be me. It's like painting minis as well. I don't really paint minis. I don't have the patience or attention span for it, but I completely understand why it's like therapeutic and nice to do. The NPC was a blind, lobotomized baby. Okay, guys. Okay, I know I was making fun of it, but it's not. It's not that bad. I just picked it up. It is. It is that bad. You're currently trying to do the herding cats part of DMing, getting everyone to meet for the first time. It's the most difficult thing. You play once a month in person, so it's hard for people to get into character once a month. Yeah, that's true. Like, you've got to have a good memory. But your sessions are a bit one-dimensional, so most don't want to play more than once a month. It's a bummer. Oh, that sucks, man. I think players and, like, consistent D&D, it comes and goes in waves. And sometimes it's scarce and you don't get to play often. And then other times it's just every week. It's like money, comes and goes. You made a mistake of running shorter sessions, thinking players will want more, but it did not work. They wanted more, but had no interest in scheduling better. Yeah, it can be a good litmus test of how into like D&D some players are, because that's just the nature of things. Like, some people like D&D more than others, and you can kind of test that by how easy it is to schedule them. And it's got nothing to do with the DM. Like, it's not that like the DM's bad or anything. It's just not everyone is into playing a tabletop role-playing game, like, which makes sense. Or some people like the hanging out part of it, so they want to do it to hang out, but they're not as into the game as others. Hold on, Dan, what are you highlighting? Just highlighting this message to differentiate me from the commoners. Wow. Can you do that because you're subscribed? Or can anyone highlight their messages like this? Oh, you redeemed it with channel points. Forget it. I'm an idiot. I'm such a noob. Jojo, that's the worst part of DMing. Everyone has their own lives. How dare they? How dare they? Oh, well, that Danny fellow on Twitch chat is a bit of a tit. Says Danny on YouTube. Maybe play with one shots, a new one each time. Yeah, if you can only play like monthly, I would say like go episodic. They can use the same characters, but have like a full story, Monster of the Week style. Well, sometimes it does have something to do with the DM. Yeah, but like, I can't say that. I can't say that because people will leave my stream. You can say it. I can't say that. I think all you guys are phenomenal DMs. I remember the good old days where we played 12-hour sessions week after week. It helps when everyone is single and in college. Yeah. No kids. Work is easy. I've been too fortunate to have consistent players. Obviously, stuff happens still, but my players are just amazing and consistent and invested. Yes. Hey, Heroic, by the way. I'm very lucky that I live in a big city. So I've had the scarcity thing. Like, I've had months where I've not been able to play, but for the most part, there's a lot of people here who are at least willing to try it out, and there's a lot of people here who have played it a lot, and it's not too hard for them to come over. But I've noticed now it's winter. I'm dreading people realizing that they can just stay in rather than like brace the cold. You love building train, battle map, and cardboard buildings, which to scale. You narrowed it down to one player being super problematic, and you agreed to remove her and play one-shots with her every now and then. Oh my god. Can you go into more detail? I love hearing problematic player stories, but I totally understand if you don't want to. I totally understand if you don't want to. Well, I love like D&D horror stories. You normally do 12 hours twice a... Wait, 12 hours twice a weekend? You're spending 24 hours of your weekend playing D&D? That's wild. All right, Arctic, have a good one. Roll20 is a dream come true for DMs. I've not played around too much with Roll20. Is online D&D like an actual thing? I kind of want to play some more than my current group does. Oh yeah, online D&D is a huge thing. Just go and start playing, and you can just like buy your way into a game for like $20. Pretty easily. I'm sure there's people out there who prefer online playing than in-person playing, mostly just for convenience. But not me. I'm an in-person guy. Paper and pencil will always beat out the best VTT for me. Yeah, I'm the same. Like, I don't mind using digital tools. I just want to be face-to-face with people when I'm talking to them. I want to be like physically in the same room as them. I don't know why, but I kind of get into Roll20. You love physical battle maps so much. Yeah, you would because of your table setup. You want to put stuff on that table, Heroic. You take what you get. First game died when you went online, so you prefer to stick with paper. Play online twice a month. That's how I got into D&D back in 2020. Nice. Oh, the problem player. She just said she needs 2 to 3 weekends of just her staying in all day in pajamas and not doing anything, and she felt pressured to prepare snacks or help making a party, even though we never asked for that. Oh, I see. So it's just an expectations thing. That she thought she had to, like, meet certain expectations. To be honest, I tried to have a physical 3D printed set for every single session. Wild. Heroic with the pro setup, yeah. He's D&D DM goals, for sure. Well, that's how she feel and can't change it? Yeah, at least you respect it, so that's good. You hate that most people don't want to use their cameras when playing. Yeah, I want to see faces. I really need that connection, I think, if I'm DMing. So I want to see how they're reacting to stuff, you know? I feel like when you're a DM, there's a lot of unspoken communication. Like if I do something and I can see a player like smiling or not or like cringing, I can like take that on board and change what I'm doing in that moment. So even on Roll20, you end up drawing on the whiteboard, trying to shoehorn a specific battle map in a session pretty much guarantees that it won't be used. Physical maps are the best. True that, true that. Hey, speaking of physical stuff, let's take a look at some of these Critical Role stuff. So, I've seen these in the past. There are... This is an ongoing thing with me and my channel. It's that I use Critical Role often to, I guess, teach and educate. Like, I look at them, I learn from them, and I pass on that knowledge to you guys. And so many people tell me that you can't learn from Critical Role because they're, you know, streaming it, and they are, it's a production, it's not the same as a home game. But then one of the biggest arguments against that is that we have evidence of their home games. And the evidence is in here. 15th of September, 2014. Matt Mercer with shorter hair. In his living room. Before Critical Role was a thing, and they were called the SHITS.
Which one of you speaks for the lot?
Liam has just got better with age. I mean, they've all got better with age.
I work for
And Sam's not changed.
Customs Department. I pull out the silver star that I had made in this town and I show it to him.
Go ahead and make.
The rug is magic? Oh, it's a fucking magic!
The excitement.
The rug all of a sudden sweeps underneath you and catches you.
I think short-haired Matt Mercer is a vibe. Also, it's not even that short still. It's just short in comparison.
Perhaps if you have an impulse, follow it.
My favorite thing is this is like they're not using battle mats. They're just using paper. What's going on, Mid-Shadows? And I guess they're technically not playing D&D here, they're playing Pathfinder. One of the things I see a lot about these stuff is how, like, Matt never sits down in these home games. He's, like, always stood up, moving around.
You all suck.
How fun is that? So one thing that's really apparent, though, that I think the haters are, like, correct about, the idea that Critical Role play the game in a way that is like not, I guess, introverty. They play it in a way that they've always wanted to like tell a story and have always wanted an audience. And I think that's true from this because there's this and there's like some vines that they were making. And they were kind of making little videos and they were making this little like entertainment things. That I think most games don't care about too much. Yeah, they were playing Pathfinder. Hold on. Matt makes faces and epic voices, even in a home game, is one of the things that made me want to gather my friends and play. I'm some kind of D&D Mormon. Saw this video on Twitter from when Critical Role was picked up by Geek and Sundry and Matthew gathered the players and informed them. I've got that coming up as well. That's what a moment when they find out that Critical Role is a thing. And yeah, they were playing Pathfinder. What's the difference? Just minor rules. I don't know. I've not actually played Pathfinder, but there's a difference. I just use a blank gridded battle mat that I draw on with red erase markers. Yeah. So Vine. Aging truly hit me there. Yeah, we're gonna watch some Vines. Still feels bad to hate on them for doing that, though. Their group were based on voice actors, so for them, yeah, they're entertainers, right? They are entertainers. They are like a bunch of theater kids, and the fact that like they made this video in 2014, like this was up on Ashley Johnson's YouTube in 2014, a year before Critical Role like came out. The fact that this was like filmed and edited and music was put on top of it for a home game, you've got to think like just the effort involved in that is really, I find that really nice. Like Ashley's was a proper film kid. And in fact, that's obvious because I've checked out, she's got one other video from 15 years ago that is her just kind of like, 15 years ago, Jesus Christ. What year was that? In 2009. And it's her like doing something with this. I don't get the reference, but she's doing something with this motherboard, and like she's such a. I'm gonna turn the music off because I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for that. But yeah, she's just such a cool person, and I think she just made like films and videos. I mean, she's an actor, right? But I think she just did this for fun. So it's just something to bear in mind when you think of a Critical Role. Like, I don't believe that they are like going out of the way and changing the way they play D&D because they have an audience. But I think all of them have always been like kind of naturally drawn to creating something bigger than just a game of D&D. So did they go back to D&D when they separated from Geek and Sundry? No, when Geek and Sundry picks them up, I believe it's also when D&D 5e came out. So when D&D 5e came out, they switched to D&D 5e because it was a better system. I'm not saying it's a better system. I'm just saying at the time, it was a very popular system, so they switched to it. Don't want to start fights. Didn't get involved with CR until shortly after the beginning of Campaign 3, so I'm a noob. Yeah. The craziest thing about this stuff is I always forget there was like another person. There was like Orion who was part of it. There he is. And he made it all the way to episode 23 of Campaign 1 and then had to leave due to like a whole bunch of reasons. But I always forget that. It's crazy when I see him. So naturally just part of this group. Don't do no things. How's it going? What'd you miss? Not much. Not much. You feel a lot of hate comes from groups or players who don't have any players almost that like doing RP and therefore hit back hard saying it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird thing because a table full of introverts who play video games and just want to like number crunch is a very different table from a table full of theater kids who just want to like put on voices and act out scenes and explore characters. It's very different vibes. And I often think like, is the perfect mix a table of like half that and half the other? Or is it better to separate them completely? Because the introverts and the number crunching guys and the mechanics guys who love combat probably don't want to wait around while the theatre kids do roleplay and vice versa. I recall an interview where someone mentioned they switched to D&D because it had a larger recognition. Yeah, I can believe that. Because that's the whole thing, because Percy was a gunslinger in that first campaign. And that was a Pathfinder thing. So they had to like recreate it from scratch to work in D&D. You had a campaign last year with a couple of friends who loved RP and they nailed it. It was alive, unpredictable, and fun. Yeah, I think I like playing with theatre kids. But like every DM's different, every table's different. A mix is good. But that kind of the extroverted side of it will push things forwards in more unexpected ways, I find. You believe many groups want to make a good story for an audience to listen and see. That's why there's a lot of groups streaming or recording their sessions on YouTube, Twitch, and Spotify. Yeah. Or I think a lot of tables, they're just trying to make a good story for each other. Like the 5 other people around the table. That's an audience. Like you've always got an audience. Whether in Critical Role's case, it's 1 million viewers, or whether it's me in my home game with 5 players. There's always like an audience that you want to have a fun time and enjoy. You heard it here, folks. Bonus action says your Pathfinder rules are stupid. I did not say that. You nearly dropped a bomb in chat. Orion the Forbidden One, yeah. One influence perhaps for them could be that as voice actors who often voice someone else's character, playing D&D with emphasis on roleplay allowed them to create something original for themselves. Very true, yeah. I think balance for sure. You have to, even as an introvert, be able to find your nook, and it's the DM's role perhaps to wind things back into focus if the RP gets too wild and too far out there. Yeah, I mean, the dream is that you have like 6 players and 3 of them are like introverts who love the game and know it inside and out and want to do combat and want to go on this adventure, but they're more like, it feels like they're more like not as immersed, say. And then you want 3 other people who are like role-playing, who maybe don't care that much about the rules. They're a bit more rule of cool. And they just want to create really cool characters. They don't care about the characters being powerful or strong. They just want to role-play it. And then the dream would be that the 2 groups would like affect each other. And they'd meet in the middle. And the roleplay people would show the number-crunching people the power of roleplay. And the number crunching people would show the roleplay people the power of having these rules. That's the dream. A little column A, a little column B, but add a dash of alcohol, indeed. Super Geek Mike has a great video on the entire Orion controversy. It's called Let's Talk About Tiberius. Yes, I've watched that. It's good. It's really interesting. By the way, question to everyone, what do you prefer? Dice with sharp edges or dice with soft edges? Oh, I think dice with soft edges for me. Yeah, I picked this up. I didn't know if we were going to talk about Orion that much, but he had his own YouTube channel. After he left Critical Role, he kept like, I guess he kept his character, who was Tiberius, and like the land that Tiberius was from, which was Draconia. He like kept the creative license of that. And he tried making these videos for a while. These Draconian Knights videos where he got other people, like his friends, to voice Dragon Knights in his own world. So it's his character, but like in his world. And they're really interesting because they're kind of just stories narrated and told through illustrations.
Greetings and salutations. I'm Tiberius Stormwind from Draconia.
And he does have a great voice.
For over 700 years.
But he was a voice actor, so.
And at the center, House Stormwind, my family, has ruled for 8 generations. For house and home, we face any evil that threaten our people. I, along with my kin, Faerun, Gerard, and Drakya, answer the call of our kingdom. For we are Draconian Knights.
And Feldrum is coming up, just around the...
But yeah, it's I don't know, it's super interesting. It never took, 22k views is still good. I don't think it took off as much as Critical Role did. But like, yeah, it's just an interesting, even Critical Role had that kind of like issue where a player didn't see eye to eye with the rest of the group and they broke up. Why did Orion actually leave? I would watch Super Geek Mike's video because he'll go into it in way more detail than I would. Working off memory, I think he had health issues and he also had drug addiction issues. That's what I heard. And it was affecting the way he was playing at the table. So they were on like episode 20 of Critical Role and he was like, they were streaming it and it was doing well and he was causing a lot of problems at the table and it was becoming more and more noticeable. And then in the end, I think they just had a massive falling out. Teach them theatre, show them where they are slacking. What are we left with then? 13? 13 what? Mitrados. I missed something. He also said some inappropriate things to Laura and was cheating on dice rolls. So there's that. Yeah. But I think if you go back and like look at what he was being affected by at the time, it's understandable why he was acting like that. Not excusing the behavior, but like it's understandable. Yeah, they broke up, and like I think Critical Role have kind of said in the past that like there was no bad blood between them. To this day, like it's okay, but he doesn't get mentioned. His character doesn't get mentioned at all in the Legend of Vox Machina show, which is very telling to me. Just ask 13 squared. Round table, and they're both theatre kid and a mechanics player. Yeah. He really wants to be hero despite the team game. Yeah. Yeah. So when people think of like Critical Role being like, oh man, it's so lucky, the perfect players and all that stuff, and it's like, well, they had issues. They've had their issues. So, all right, Critical Role Vines, February 11th, 2013. So it starts 2 years before Critical Role started, to July 1st, 2016, which is a year after Critical Role started. And it's important to note here, like I said earlier, they were putting this up on Vine. Like it was a social media platform. It's the equivalent of someone having a home game nowadays and posting clips to TikTok. Like they wanted this to be bigger than just a home game, I think. Or like certainly, one or two of them wanted to show their game off to the world, even before Critical Role ever happened. Wonder whose bird that is.
Another one. See it twice.
9.
18, and then roll 1d8.
What is going on?
I'm playing D&D.
What are you doing?
I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons.
+1.
Nerd!
Vines are wild. Were they 6 seconds? Did Vines have to be 6 seconds long and no longer? Is that what they were?
According to disappears into a magic
Okay, good.
The chest hits the ground.
What does it have?
Frog and yeah, it's a movement act.
Do I get fuck? Pick up my axe! Do it! One.
All right.
By the way, I love this
One.
Matthew Mercer masterpiece of terrain. Oh, how he's changed. This cut out piece of paper with 2 lines on it, and he's like, yeah, that's a corridor. And now if you go and look at like one of his latest ones, don't be like this, internet. I know I've got a lot of tabs open. Where's the one that had the... Yeah. Is there one where it's a full-size thing? Yeah, and you look at that. Oh, how times have changed. How far they've come. It's wild.
All right.
Also, what
ladies who
dice
jumped out of a room in various states of curious undress.
2 D20s, natural 20s, and
I'll roll that twice too.
4.
16.
Maybe
Oh, I love that. That was literally Matt teaching Liam what he needs to roll.
2 D20s, natural 20s, and
I'll roll that twice too.
4.
16.
Maybe we should.
But I think a lot of this stuff was just the excitement of playing D&D at a time when not that many people were playing D&D. This was before Stranger Things. This was before Critical Role. So there would be very few people playing D&D. It was probably a very niche thing back then. And dice with lights in them, like, uneven. Not if the light's perfectly in the middle.
Sleeper on this one.
Oh, I am considering.
Yeah, if you want.
There's a tape. Okay.
Please stop talking about Vine like it's some ancient myth from a bygone age. I can feel my beard growing in real time. Bro, this was 20 years ago.
No, you guys!
You have to kill a guy.
It's your turn to bury. 3D. Alright, just like really older pieces like pauldrons that spill off. It gives you a little bit of a bonus.
With my.
Do you play songs about...
You see Matt's
Play
head
songs
growing in real time.
about... dragons?
I have this wonderful book
Stop messing around and just ask about the kid.
It's got a lot of dirty. We don't roll over for anyone, and we don't back down from a fight or a shit.
That's a 10, but I just rolled.
Oh yeah, did I say 20 years? I meant 10 years.
Business.
My bad.
I think that's wonderful.
I know you guys like kittens.
And then put on.
Oh, you know, I thought today was going to be another boring one, but this has been great, I say. Premium establishment!
You know I'm looking about.
Speak for yourself.
Traps! Traps! Don't touch anything!
Expensive wards of the abode have been set, hence one cannot escape.
Yeah. Interesting. And there's like another 5 minutes of this. But just look at the look, like how, yeah, you're right. They're having so much fun. I wonder if they ever regret. I wonder if they've ever thought to themselves, like, I wish we hadn't turned this into like a monetary weekly thing where we live stream. Like, do they ever look back on these games and be like, I miss it being just for us?
Are they family as well?
We are family. Like,
Oh, Casablanca! Casablanca!
Oh yeah, the hip thrust reaction.
And now we go. This is after Critical Role. So they were still trying to make Vine happen. Think how much it blew up makes them okay with it. Now they have their own system. True. Yeah, you can see them in just a year go from Matt's living room to. Oh, is that the? Wait, what was that? Was this their opening?
Are you a holy cleric eating ice cream?
But yeah, from Matt's living room to a studio space in literally a year, which is pretty crazy. But obviously, like Critical Role's main success was like networking, because they knew Felicia Day and were working with those people. Your girlfriend loves the dance stream they did. Yeah. Blah blah blah. I think this is just 10 minutes pure of their game.
Gandalf style, like big. I can turn into a gigantic flying thing.
I would argue this is their very first ever
you
actual
specify
play.
between giant and flying thing.
A giant eagle or
Okay.
beast of some shit.
You turn into a giant eagle.
All using paper character sheets
Room as a giant eagle.
Wait,
Can I get
that
the
are in
room?
folders.
tied the endless rope to a piece of furniture.
And what do you think is on Matt's DM screen? There's like something written down on these. And everyone's having beer skis. Everyone's on beer. And they got snacks. They've gone very healthy, not like my games. Very demure. They've got like cucumbers and celery and carrots. We mostly do crisps, like ketchup flavored crisps at our games.
I've tied the endless rope to a piece of furniture.
Trinket! I'm not leaving my bear in here.
I'll stay with Trinket. We'll go down the elevator.
Also, they've got the table setup is 1, 2, 3 people on one side, and then a 4th person on the corner, and then I guess a 5th person here, and then the same going back the other way. They're really squeezed into this table.
Jeez.
And I feel this pain, the distance that Matt has between the wall and the table that he has to squeeze into. Like, you know, if Taliesin has to go to the bathroom, like everyone's got to shuffle around.
I unhooked the...
What's going on?
It's the players' names and their characters, probably. Oh, interesting. If someone put a cucumber in front of me when we're D&Ding, I'd have to throw hands. Rocks fall, everyone dies. The cucumbers are destroyed. The transition from painting minis because you want to, because you have to, yeah. I mean, it's probably made up for the fact that you're making a lot of money doing something you love, but there's definitely a shift there.
Just jumped out the window. He's got
Okay, so most of you are in the elevator. You have a giant eagle in the room. Tiberius jumped out the window. Castor and Fiddlefall. Okay. Before you do that. Yes. Okay. Yes. You need to specify. Yes, I'm not doing that. Okay.
Why are we filming this?
We're like a well-oiled machine.
And he says there, wait, who says that? Was that Sam? Someone's like, why are we filming this?
Why are we filming this?
Yeah. Oh, he's saying why are we or why aren't we filming this? Because that's two very different things.
Okay. Yes. You need to specify. Yes, I'm not doing that.
Why are we filming this?
We're
That finally filming.
like a well-oiled
Oh,
machine.
we'll never know. He's either glad he's filming it or
So
he's
Tiberius
confused to
knows
why
that.
he's filming it.
There's a big eagle now. It's trying to work its way through the window, which is tinier than you remember. While the rest of you are now riding on this slow elevator down.
Does anybody want on? I'm on your
God, Matt is so physical with his movements.
What's going on?
Jump on.
I can get on?
Get on me.
You can carry me.
She's a big bird.
Fucking eagle.
By the way, you're hearing.
I can talk to animals. I can talk to animals.
Art.
I'm jumping on.
Okay.
If Gandalf can do it, so can you.
Okay, so our two gnomes leap on to
If
Keelan's
Gandalf
back.
can do it, so can you.
Just squeeze in the window. Take off into the sky.
This is nice.
Both of you guys make a ride check.
Oh, what?
No, that's the wrong music. It's the bird.
It is interesting that, like, you've got Sam up here with a camera, and Ashlyn's there with a camera, filming from two different angles.
Sir.
Not good. Not good. 6 plus 0.
No.
So they definitely at least wanted to record this.
That's okay.
Maybe it's just for
You
memories,
managed
but like
managed
they
to hold
are.
on, guys.
They're
It
very
was managed to
visual
see there's really
people,
bad
it seems
luck.
like.
You're fine. You guys managed to just
Actually, with a
grasp
DSLR
for dear life
mirrorless
on the
camera,
feathers.
it's a big boy.
And you feel like,
With a big
hurts
lens.
a little bit, but you, who haven't flown in this form before, it takes you a little while to get used to.
Whose house was that? I believe they used to play around
below
Matt's.
you, this tiny little
I
form
believe.
of dragon humanoid just kind of gliding. The rest of you guys, Percy, Max, Grog.
The
Oh, slow
camera work has got a lot better.
About
Because
a quarter of the way down.
Right now we
you
can't see
probably
Matt's
another
face.
300 feet. From the
Yes.
ground. The tower lurches an extremely large pulse. You now have dust and rock begins to fall from the ceiling. You see the actual walls are cracking and beginning to push
You guys are all
inward.
dead.
Perception
You
check.
fuckers are all dead.
I saved the gnomes.
The
I want to
whole
see if I
game
can
is going to
actually
be
also
me
discern
fighting
ideas of
with the
how it's working.
Tiberius.
Half the party is re-rolling characters.
Where'd it go?
it's also interesting to say that at this point Matt has 8 players in a home
I
game.
can come
And
back.
I just don't know why he would do that to
I
himself.
can come back. Jump up and down really fast.
As a DM, would Doom's host for eternity or assume so? I like hosting. If I'm DMing, I don't want to travel anywhere.
Repetitively jumping on
I'm
the
team
fucking
DMs should host. But I also have a wife who plays who also helps with the hosting, so there's that. But it should be on everyone else to bring snacks and stuff.
Oh, it's going to columns. Okay, so
Just the thought, I wonder if Liam is recording this as a video to show Geek and Sunday for their pitch. Interesting.
Never bloody mind.
Percy takes his gun, puts it against the turquoise crystal, and fires.
Oh God.
The ringing of the blast echoes throughout the chamber.
Yeah,
It
I want access
blends
to all my
with another
terrain
lurch
movies
as you
and
have another
books.
piece of
Indeed.
rock come slamming into the platform. As the turquoise crystal shatters, the platform just drops into free fall.
Young Travis gives a surfer Jim Bro vibe, yeah.
It's a tower. Is there anything on the walls? Is there
Are there windows on the way down?
He just gives me high school jock that just discovered nerdiness vibes.
Do something, Grog. You're strong. You're strong, Grog. Do something. Jam something in the wall. Do
As
something.
you're all currently plummeting in free fall,
We got seconds. Do something. Try something.
One of Matt's favourite tricks is just to have players falling
It is tied to a
for a
piece of
long time in
furniture.
the sky and asking them what they do.
And I'm holding it in my hand as we go down. Grog, hold this rope with me. Hold the rope with me.
all of you make a
He
dexterity
was a
check.
unicorn. He was a
my God.
theatre jock.
Except for you,
Indeed.
Max, because you're the one who's holding onto the rope.
And the camera.
Yes,
Is this going to be the second game in a row where Grog falls to his near
it's
death?
very possible.
16.
16, okay.
What is the
I hope everyone is on carry.
Grog is going to have serious.
I jumped out the window.
Roll d20, I get dexterity.
I told you to go 6 to 1.
I wonder how many cans Matt Mercer's in right now. How much beer has he drank?
You got a 9 total?
No, I rolled a fucking 4.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so.
Wait, Trinket hasn't rolled.
Nope. Nope.
What? The bear's in the thing?
Can you guys hear that by the way?
Elevator, just a random bloody bear.
Mike, I think I can see out in from
Throw the bear out the window and onto an
Is it Bear or Monster? I was looking at it and thinking it could be an energy drink, but that's wild. That's a wild thing to do.
Under the rope, the rope comes
It must be
out.
the evening, right?
What?
No,
I tied one end of the.
Maybe it is Monster.
To a piece of.
You have infinite rope that comes out of a rope. Is how it works. It's like there's a pocket in a rope.
Yeah, so we tied it.
Yeah, I tied the free end to something up top.
Right, so you're currently clutching a rope as a rope is shooting out of it.
Yeah.
Or you then like now holding onto the rope.
Clutch the rope.
Oh, the rope.
Yeah,
well, I
think
told Grog. I meant
most
for
interesting thing about this is truly there's not really any difference between how certainly Matt DMs and how the players play in comparison to now, like compared to then, which is crazy. You prefer hosting yourself over hosting at someone's house, particularly because I currently have 1,000 dungeon block tiles and 100 minis and one 1.2 meter playable skyship. Fair. No way I'm bringing that with me. No, it's really similar. Like I kind of forget that like they don't have an audience of 30,000 people, you know? Better funded. Yeah, much better funded.
Grog and I to hold it.
Yeah, and you guys are the only.
Let me skip forward a bit.
You and Percy both managed to make your reflex save. You both takes a total 32. Oh, as the bear just goes slamming into the stone and begins rolling down. The slide comes to an end and it goes into another free fall point. At this point,
God!
There, you can see there's the broken portions of the stone. The rug that was on the platform is kind of like spinning and plumbing on its own.
The camera focus on
What are you
Laura
guys gonna do?
is harsh.
I was actually trying to make a hit.
No, he took my rope. When he used the rope.
only have one piece of rope?
It was my rope?
I was hoping if I had enough time that I could try and do a dead shot.
But there's nothing to
A lot of
like.
time on this, unfortunately.
Needs to be a U-Holly session indeed.
Fucking leap on.
Yeah,
I would host by living in the middle
It's
of
a good
the
thing we
woods
worked
whilst
out
everyone
today.
else lives in town, so it would be inconvenient if everyone's had to come to me.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, but you're DMing,
And try to
so
land like sliding down on
Yeah.
something that's sliding at an angle.
it's double inconvenience for you.
Oh my god, it's the knife!
No, it hurt him.
Alright, so as you power safely hit alive.
The cheering. I wish I had that kind of excitement on my table. The clapping and the cheering. All right. This is the one that I'm like most excited for, which is the news when Matt found out or told people that they were doing Critical Role.
And they brought and I started talking about the game, mentioning and because I guess they heard about the game, they knew that I run it, they didn't know who all was in the game, and they're like, yeah, like we're really trying to get the D&D crowd. Like right now we have our show Spooks, and like you know, one of the guys in the crew one of the cast keeps talking about how he keeps.
So interesting is that this Geek and Sundry talking to him, and they were like, we really want to get the D&D crowd. Like they like a lot of credit has to go to Geek and Sundry for doing that and seeing that gap in the market. And be like, we need an actual play of some kind because this is going to be big.
Trying to get one of our other castmates, Ashley, to get into her D&D game, and I'm like, Ashley Johnson, yeah, I know, she's in the game. They're like, oh, like, and Sam Eagle, I worked on Fetch Fest with you guys. Like, oh, so you're keeping it in the family. Yeah. So
That's great.
What is happening? Follow from Gummy Bogey. Thank you for the follow.
Yeah.
So
Holy shit.
I want to make sure you guys would be interested in that kind of a thing.
Hell no.
We would have to change the name from the shits to something else.
They were called the Shits.
No,
I think that has to stay.
They did change the name.
Do
Spoiler
we have to
alert.
start over at level 1 again or anything?
No.
Okay.
Like the thing is, we a couple things I got pitched was either we could do a different game, but I want to maintain what we have.
Yeah.
I want to.
And that's a really interesting choice. Because I would have always, in my mind, it's like you would start fresh with a new campaign from level 1 with everyone, but they didn't. They just went in with these characters, with the story so far. They changed the name from the Shits to Vox Machina, which is fair. And then they were just like, all right, audience, catch up.
Just to be a continuation, what we do is we'd have a website with, you know, bios on each of us as players and each of our characters' back history with like artwork and stuff. So people could tune in and know exactly where the characters have been.
and jump into wherever we're at.
Fucking
And could we have clean?
I swear I've heard Travis say fucking Mercer in that exact tone in like the last episode of Critical Role that came out last week. Fucking Mercer.
Again?
Yeah.
Like how we have,
Mercer.
The best thing we ever did. The best thing we ever did.
Thank you, Liam, for making this all come together.
Yeah. That's just really close. I'm filming all your eyes. They're all. I'm stealing your souls for the camera. Eyes.
It's ironic that Ryan was the one filming this, but and he's not there now. But yeah. Beyond the Table, chapter 1, the gift. I don't even know what this is. Hold on.
Welcome to this first episode of Beyond the Table, a documentary or video essay series about the rise of Critical Role as a successful entertainment and media company. I would just like to start by saying thank you for all the positivity that I've already received for this project. I know it's impossible to make everyone happy.
Interesting. J.R. Toking, I'm playing my first game this Sunday and I was elected to be DM. I'm nervous but very excited too. Yeah, you'll have a great time. I hope you have a great time. And don't worry, my first session was awful. As in, like, it didn't go well. It did not go to plan. But in hindsight, it was a lot of fun. And my players all had fun. So that's really what matters. So you'll nail it. You'll nail it. Also, did you guys know that Sam and Liam had a podcast? And this is the other part of, like, these guys were always going to get big somehow because they were trying to be social media people. Like, before social media influencers were, like, the thing they are now, they were still trying. So they had a podcast that they were putting out, and they talk about...
Next episode, you will get to hear about
D&D
us
session.
playing pen and paper Dungeons and Dragons, motherfucker.
Dungeons and Dragons. We're doing D&D. We're going back to the 80s, and we're playing D&D with a group of dudes.
With a group, well, maybe
and
one
girls.
maybe one actual girl, which would really lend a lot of validation
with
and
3 actual
legitimacy.
girls.
It's true,
to
although
us.
it wouldn't be an authentic experience.
Right. we wouldn't.
So yeah, we got invited and snapped up the opportunity to attend a Dungeons and Dragons tournament hosted by
Matthew Mercer,
who we've already been talking about on this podcast.
Right, played Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil.
Such a nice guy.
Right.
He has beautiful.
They have, I mean, they're voice actors. I understand that. Obviously, they have good voices, but they have really good podcast voices. I mean, Sam is so much more, though. He's an Emmy winner, and Liam is a large in voice acting. He's a Lydian Storm Mage. You are not. Yeah, I know. And they were, like, successful in those fields beforehand as well. So actually having a podcast and having Vines and being, like, a social media people would have also just benefited their careers, right, as voice actors. Thank you for the follow, MC Squared. How's it going? Good name. But it's just important to note that, like, they weren't just plucked out of, like, D&D obscurity from a home game and thrown into this world. They were, like, out there. They were putting themselves out there in a lot of different things. It's like YouTubers. Like, people, I look at all the time, I see YouTubers who blow up, and I'm jealous. And they get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and you look and their channel was, like, created a month ago, and you're like, how did they do that? That's amazing. And you dig into it, and they have like 7 other channels that all failed. And they tried TikTok, and they tried this, and they tried that. It's like, oh, these guys have been grinding for a while. So it kind of makes sense. I just wish there were more D&D campaigns with at least subtitles in Spanish to enjoy with my friends. I'm the only one that knows CR because I'm the only English speaker. What's the Spanish actual play scene like? I'm also running a session this Sunday, but not my first one. Did a lot of prep for this one. Hopefully not much is thrown away. Yes, I hope that you get to use all your prep And when you inevitably can't, I hope you can recycle it into future sessions.
Beautiful hair, although if you cut it off, he loses all of his power.
He's not really as good an actor if
he's
you
terrible.
cut his hair off.
But he's hosting a D&D event.
He's a dungeon master, Sam. He's a master of dungeons.
Wow, I don't know what that means. Here's the thing, guys. I've never played D&D. I don't know how to do it, and frankly, I'm frightened.
Right. Well, I'm a little frightened too, but so Sam has never done this. I played Dungeons and Dragons when I was in high school, like maybe sophomore. And I was our dungeon master when we did it.
Wow.
Right.
Oh, so Liam was a
cred.
dungeon master.
Yeah. But it was kind of a bastardized version. I was also playing. We were just really excited, and we were nerdy. I mean, I'm nerdy now, but I've sort of couched it in a fun career.
Nerd drop.
But I have some experience. I understand how it goes. Now, I was 16 when I did it. It's been a long time, but you have zero experience.
I don't know what, and we got an email from...
Yeah, Sam was going in blind. Wait, they got an email? Hold on, I want to listen to that. Hey, Rogue.
You have zero experience.
I don't know what, and we got an email from Matt asking us to pick our characters.
Right. For anyone who's familiar, I mean, normally you have a campaign, Sam.
Okay.
And what that means is it's ongoing. It's like Charles
They're
Dickens.
explaining
It's a serial
D&D now.
drama. You get together regularly.
Really? People do this?
People do it a lot.
Wow.
But we're doing, Matt says that it's a one-off.
Okay.
So
it's going to be a self-contained short story.
So it's a one-shot the first time.
Right. Your first taste of the drug is free. Okay. So it's a one-off, but you don't know anything about this.
No,
at all.
and I have to pick a character, and they've given me things like I can be a human, dwarf, elf, halfling,
slow down.
Goliath. What are these things?
Matthew,
what do I do? Can I just be Sam?
Hey, so everyone, here's the people who are doing it. It's Matt Mercer, Sam Riegel, and myself. Taliesin Jaffe.
Oh, my God.
Oh, will be there. He's a long-time player with Matt.
First-time listener.
And we roped a bewildered Travis Willingham.
Oh, man, that's going to be fun.
Just like bringing a bull into a china shop.
Literally.
And then probably his wife, Laura, which is not really that big of a surprise because she really is a friggin' nerdlinger.
She is.
And knows all about this stuff. No, she and I, we played video
Travis
games.
in.
She is a big player of Dragon Age and Skyrim. She likes the aesthetic. I've played things like Baldur's Gate and Dungeons and Dragons Pool of Radiance over the years, which is essentially it's the same game, but the computer is handling all the dice rolling and the math.
I see.
And giving you graphics instead of your imagination.
I believe this is true, but I could be misremembering. But I believe the very first session when they created their characters for Vox Machina, it was Liam and Laura's birthday because they have the same birthday. And that's why they're twins. That's why their characters are twins. But I might be incorrect about that.
So we'll be using our imaginations to tell a story about elves and orcs and things like that. And and the closest I've come to playing D&D is I saw the Community episode where they played Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
So will Joel McHale be there?
He said he wasn't available that night, but maybe if we turn it into a full-blown campaign.
Okay, and we choose characters for ourselves, and then the Dungeon Master sort of paints us a yarn and puts our characters in a world, and we get to roll die to figure out
singular.
What? No, die is the singular.
Die is the Sorry, it's the red wine and the now Pabst Blue Ribbon.
PBR, everybody.
Matthew will have the whole story in his head. And it's choose your own adventure. We can make choices, but it'll be, walled in within the confines of Matthew's brain.
So help me choose my character. Should I be a cleric, rogue, halfling, Goliath? Or should I be a ranger, wizard, tiefling? What is that?
Tiefling is just a person with sort of like ram's head horns.
That sounds fun.
Devilly person.
A devilly person.
Yeah. So the only thing I would steer you against... that was not a forced burp. That was a real
authentic
PBR authentic burp.
I can smell it. It was.
Stay away from Rogue because Laura Bailey and I are probably going to battle over that.
Okay.
I was right to the front line and said, I'm a half-elf Rogue. And
Spoilers.
Travis
Liam
said that Laura was a little pissed that I jumped on that.
Wow.
Because that's sort of her territory.
There's already
aren't a bunch of
animosity.
them
But what I recommended
Vox
is
Machina?
that Laura Bailey and I have the
surprising
same
amount.
birthday. So I said, why don't we be twins?
Oh,
we can be
there you go.
half-elf
The twin
twins.
story.
Ooh, I like that. Can I just be the worst? What's the worst? I'll be the worst character.
Well,
is
you
that
could be
like
a
a
gnome?
Sure. What's that?
Well, it's just a small person, a very small person.
So it's just a short
There you
guy.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to pick a race. There's elves and there's humans and there's half elves because they like having sex together.
Oh, God.
And half
Gross.
orcs, and there are the tieflings.
the
There
twin
are
half elves. No,
dragon
I think
people. What do we
Keyleth
call
is
them?
as well.
I can't remember what they're dragonborn.
So, all right. So we've established I'm going to be
Yeah, I think Keyleth is a half elf. So not a ton of them, but when you have 3 out of 7 or 8, there's a lot of the high percentage of high elves.
a garden gnome.
Oh, you are going to do gnome?
Well, you said you're picking my character for me.
Okay, gnome.
Okay, I am a gnome, of course.
Then you have to pick
a class.
A class. So
Cleric, fighter, rogue, ranger, paladin, wizard, bard. Ooh.
Bards play. You'll have like a lute or a mandolin, and you'll play.
Do I fight with this thing?
Occasionally, but more you strum your guitar.
Yeah, we're literally listening to Scanlan being created, which is crazy.
And it inspires us all and gives us bonuses for our attacks, or makes us
Dan, apparently gnomes take that spot.
Feel better.
Do I actually, in the playing of this game, do I actually have to sing songs?
Yeah,
do I have to bust out like Eminem's, like...
And he does sing
Lose
songs.
yourself in the moment, you know it, you know it. Just to inspire you guys to like do better? Come on, guys. It's the
No, I think
eye
Keyleth's
of the
just half elf.
tiger. It's the thrill
We'll
of
give it
the
a Google and tell me if I'm wrong.
I think Matthew will give you extra points for that.
Okay.
But if you like hitting things with a stick, I would go warrior. If you want to be a gnome of the cloth, you could be a cleric and get powers from the gods, the deities above. You could be a cleric. You could be a ranger, which is like Robin Hood, I guess. You shoot arrows and are good in the woods.
Tell me this:
to deer.
You were picking a race. Is there racism in Dungeons and Dragons? Is
Hey, that's a whole thing we don't need to get into. Not in this video. But yeah, and then that all turned into, I mean, it's this now, but Critical Role Campaign 1, Ep 1. I always love going back and watching this. Truly.
Voice actor and... Hello everyone, my name is Matthew
first
Mercer,
episode.
voice actor and dungeon master for Critical Role on Geek and Sundry, where I take a bunch of other voice actors and run them through a fantastical fantasy adventure through the world of Dungeons and Dragons. We play every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Geek and Sundry's Twitch stream. Please come watch us live if you have the opportunity. Back episodes and future episodes will be uploaded on the Geek and Sundry website, so you can also check them out there. In the meantime, enjoy. Welcome to the first episode of Critical Role. Now what this
The music, though.
basically is a continuation of our weekly D&D game. Me and a bunch of other likely nerdy and enjoyable voice actors gathering around, rolling some dice, killing...
Wait, what's he called?
Me and a bunch of other likely nerdy and enjoyable voice actors.
Likely, nerdy, and enjoyable voice actors? Is that... Did that become nerdy-ass voice actors? Yeah, me and a bunch of other likely nerdy and enjoyable voice actors.
Gathering around, rolling some dice, killing some creatures, having some adventure. And now we have the pleasure of bringing it on the stream for you to watch, enjoy, and occasionally interact with.
They were like, they're going to workshop that. We'll workshop that and we'll come with something better. And they came up with nerdy-ass voice actors, which works.
So, before we get to that, to give you a little backstory on the characters you'll be seeing this evening, we're going to play some videos for you in just a second. But do note, for all you hardcore gamers out there, a lot of this is house-ruled, kind of loosey-goosey, having a good time, so all you number crunchers...
And they were aware. They were smart. They were like, we got to put a pin in this straight away and tell people, like, don't take this too seriously. All you nerds, leave us alone when we don't play the game properly.
Stop paying attention there. Just have fun with it. But nevertheless, we have some background story on many of the characters you'll be seeing this evening to kind of help you jump into the story. Let's go ahead and enjoy those in just a minute, and then we'll introduce the players. So, have fun.
Right, listen up.
I think Matt's obviously still very, very good at that, but he definitely was not as natural there as he obviously is now. Obviously he's had years, but you can see he stumbles over there a little bit. And then they had to blur out these backstories. I think I saw a frame of image, which I want to... Where is it? Okay, Matt, stop looking at me in my eyes. So I guess they had this art for every character. And I was like, what is that for a second? But that's Grog's chest on the left there. And I guess they didn't have permission to use the art once this moved to the new channel. So they blurred it.
Right, listen up. If you have
There
ale,
are some episodes
then
still that are
you
not
have a
blurred.
friend
Ooh, I
in
want to find one of
Grog
those.
Strongjaw, a Goliath of towering height and size.
But they obviously get the characters, or the players, to actually voice these backstories as their characters, which is
This
fun.
barbarian has an appetite for the elves and years. I'm expecting
But this is something, if this came out now on YouTube, I don't think this would do very well, because I think there's way too longer pre-roll into this, and I don't think the algorithm would like it. Like, we're talking...
Grog, it was a legend also ale.
Talking like 2 minutes, is that? Of like one
A
character
first
backstory.
impression of Keyleth would leave you with little information on the half-elven
river and floating under thing sometime.
So by the time they finish the
Company of
backstories...
elves.
Oh my god, the sound.
With their ties all sprayed.
the Kuman mother. Will they could be age-isolated?
Yeah, it's a lot of backstory stuff. And they were doing this every episode.
So he
Finder and one of our players was
The
back at
audio.
the party. Hey guys, welcome back. So just to give you a little heads up, we are playing the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. We recently converted over from Pathfinder, for those who play Pathfinder, and one of our players was a gunslinger. Which there are no rules for in 5th edition.
Well, one of my favorite things here is to look at the chat. To see, I remember there's like a, sounds like Kate Blanchett. So Druid, Rogue, Warlock, Bard, Barbarian, Ranger,
So I
Sorcerer.
had to create and customize those for the game. So bear with us on that. It'll be an interesting ride regardless.
Wait, I just saw on Twitter that Ashley Johnson is going to be on this. Oh, yes. And Ashley Johnson is not there currently. My face is covering Travis, by the way, if anyone was wondering. But it's obvious that like Ashley obviously had quite a Twitter following before even episode 1 aired, if people are like aware of her.
We do have an 8-player game we've been running for 2 years.
I'm going to skip past the bad audio.
It's too nice. Nice. All the rules are all messed up. So.
I am Keyleth, the druid from the tribe of the Arashari, and I am a half-elven
No, you're an elf.
person. No,
Look how
half-elf.
young and cute they all look.
Come on, man. Half-elf since day
You have a lot of
one.
half-elves.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, half-elf.
I misunderstood.
Yes, and yeah, you can see me shooting lightning and turning into awesome animals. Yeah.
All right.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Sam's
wearing
growing,
a cap.
growing tankard over the campaign.
I'm
Did
also
we see
voice
it? Is
actor.
it just a
I do
normal
things.
tankard right
Oh,
now?
I'm Marisha Ray, by the way. Did
Yeah.
I say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
you
I'm
She is definitely the head of this tavern, and all of her barkeeps are male. And seem to be worked rather ragged.
What was the name?
Excuse me, miss, you...
Yeah, and episode 1 was like in a dwarven city.
What you're looking for is House Thunderbrand. They're the ones who, by blood, have the arcane arts in their family line.
Interesting.
They run most of the enchantment process in the city.
I wonder how many
they also train.
viewers they had
We call it train. Some of us
for this
call
first
it
episode.
doctors
It's obviously like Geek and Sundry
they're
did a
definitely
lot
the
building up
focus
to
of
it,
what
so
I'd say here in Craghammer.
I presume a
Thank you.
fair few.
So,
Maybe a
Thank you
couple
for
of
your
hundred.
time, Andrew. You carry on with your evening. We'll seek you out if we have any more questions.
And this was back when Geek and Sundry was just like a channel. Like they would Twitch stream all the time. So you can see up here it says up next, flying to SXSW for a full weekend of Zach, Steph, Felicia, and Ryan. Like once this Critical Role finished, they would have played something else, like a TV channel. So you probably had a lot of people who watched something just before this, who just carried on into this.
Yes. Now, if you don't mind, she scoots you aside as you see a line, a queue of dwarves behind her with their empty
Waiting
cups,
for
like
their-
waiting to get to her to fill up the drinks that
You
you
were
bought.
trying to
Oh,
start
that's
this, and the
sweet.
audience
All
made
right.
it real difficult. Yeah, the start
Enjoy,
is
gentlemen.
hard.
What time of day is it?
0.
You fuss
Look at the art
with
they
the
got
door
on here as
for
well.
a good minute, trying to bend a piece of like wire you had, thinking to forge some tumblers, and eventually get to a point where you're at tink.
Ooh!
I mean, and it broke.
I can't do 2 spells at once, so I will give it up, and I'll make my way to the door.
Okay, the door is currently closed.
Oh, is this the first
I
door?
become
Problem?
uninvisible and I cast dimension door.
All right, you blink through this small kind of purplish arcane doorway. It brings you directly outside. You guys are waiting. It's gonna just pops into view.
Holy God!
It
was crazy in there. People were farting everywhere. Really? It was not me.
Really scandalous.
They're building a throne room. There were some locked doors. Man, I wish you could have been there. It was exciting, but ultimately pointless. So let's go down to the mountain.
I would like to stress again that none of these dwarves are our enemies at all.
Yes.
We just want to go.
Soon, I'm sure.
And we don't have our healer at present.
We do not have. It's okay.
Well, we do, but
Understand.
she's very distracted.
She's
and is
very
not feeling
quiet.
herself.
Right.
Don't remember for sure, but I think they were like 8 or 9 what? Oh, level. Yeah, they were high level for D&D. Later episodes show small character data cards. Oh, this was on Geek, so 9 years ago. I think this was re-uploaded because I think March. Wait, when was the first? Aired. The first episode of D&D web series Critical Role aired on March 12th, 2015. So literally in a few weeks we'll have the 10th birthday. The episode was broadcast on Geek and Sundry Twitch channel. The episode was available on demand to Twitch subscribers immediately after the broadcast. The episode was made available to the public on Geek and Sundry YouTube channel the following Monday. So they literally did the exact same. If this is true, it's AI overview, I guess. But they have this. They've kept that exact same method all the way until now. And that first campaign ran from 2015 to 2017. And they started playing in the home game in 2012, apparently. So they were playing for 3 years before Critical Role started. Crazy. All right, Cylinder. Have a good dinner. I'm thinking they might start their new campaign on March 12th as an anniversary thing. I really want to know if they're going to make Daggerheart the thing. I really want to know. Anyone think Critical will end? Nah, they won't end it. I think they love it too much. I think it's more likely that, I'm surprised they haven't, but they might try and phase out, you know. In a couple of years, maybe a few of the players want to retire and they just replace them with, other players. And then they would slowly cycle out and Critical Role would continue on. And in 30 years' time, it'll still be going and it'll just be like different cast completely. Because, I mean, it's too perfect to stop. There's no other actual plays in that style, I would say, of the really long campaigns that are like story first. There's nothing else like that that's as successful. So it'd be a shame for it to just disappear. If it's March, it'll be a fast turnaround for them. That's true. I think they're probably going to take a break, right? They'll be doing something for their birthday, but yeah. It'd be too perfect not to start with Daggerheart. Daggerheart, I think, is being released in May. So maybe, because they don't want to start playing Daggerheart before it's released. So maybe they'll when it's released, they'll start playing. Oh, I think pre-orders arrive in May. I've got it. I'm going to be getting Daggerheart as soon as it's out, which will be fun. But yeah, it went from this. I kind of want to see them in combat.
So we'll say for now, I forgot to bring an eagle.
Oh, there we go.
His chest is looking a little rough. There's blood streaking down from the side of his face. One of the pieces of shrapnel that got thrown at him. And the other ogre's looking okay.
He's a large creature, isn't he?
Yes.
I'm going to use my second spell.
Yeah, look at this. It's just a piece of paper. It's some land drawn on there. They're using minis. They have some flickering candles on the left here. They've got is that the monster manual there? Good times. And then...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical...
this.
Kind of taking into space, the head still wincing with the attacks that the other hands...
Big difference. Big difference. But I would say same spirit. The same spirit's there.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons. Like that. Before we jump into our session...
But Matt is handling himself so much better. Falling over his words way less. Sam's product commercials got better and better too. Yes. When was his first product commercial? Do we know?
Hello, everyone.
She had quite... Vex...
Like, when did
Pass
they
around
first
the drink.
start doing, like, we've got some announcements?
Welcome, everyone, to this Thursday.
In your hearts and moreover your wallets and get one of
Discovering that there was apparently an alliance that had been forged between Gravel.
Sorry, we're going through time real quick.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Yeah, I believe so.
5 weeks at a time.
Also, that we try and
Oh, this is already way better.
So beware.
Don't get caught up in the crosstalk. You don't get caught up in the...
Oh, sorry. Oh, Crossfire. You never go away. Hello, and welcome this evening.
Only jackets.
Members only jackets.
That's where they all went. Just a little too short on all of them.
Welcome, everyone, to tonight's episode
Classic.
of Critical Role, special Halloween edition. My name is Matthew Mercer. I'm the Dungeon Master for the show. This wonderful show where a bunch of Halloween-ness. We'll kick back here in just a minute to
I
start
wanna
the game
see the
and see
opening
where the wonders
Was this
and
the first opening
dangers
credits?
of Whitestone bring to Vox Machina. So, see you guys here in
We're all
just a
gonna
second.
die when we're goofy looking.
Phenomenal. Live action. Getting to cosplay as your D&D characters must be so fun. Oh, the line was still there at this point. There's definitely, I'm a huge Critical Role fan, but there's definitely a level of, like, gonna get torn apart, but there's definitely a level of cringe, a little bit of cringe here with Liam's eye makeup and Laura's orange toy bow and arrow. Oh, maybe that's real, actually. I mean, that's in playback. But yeah, it's not this one. It's the next one they do where they're like out in a field that I'm like the most like, oh man, this is very of its time. Critical to Nord VPN ads starting with Matt Lillard were a game changer for Sam's ads. The intro replaces the blur, then comes the fancy ones with animations. It's the fun kind of cringe. Oh yeah, I've got mad respect for it. Mad respect for it. But I mean, just look at whatever is happening with Marisha's face there. Yeah. For the time, it was also just like they're playing D&D. Alright. How many episodes were in campaign 1? A lot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role here, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors
There's one in like.
of that is.
These people need to come inside. I don't know what we're going to do with them, but
There's
we're going to bring them in
starting
now. And you and I are going.
Oh look, they really upped their terrain though. On the bottom left there.
Let's see.
And yeah, they're level 12 at this point.
Yeah, one more shot at the wings just to see if I can take it down. Make it.
Okay, so second and.
I'll take them hot.
We hope you guys enjoy it.
Oh yeah,
Let's
this
go
is
ahead and have a look at
this is the
new
cringe opening.
Full intro
in a good way,
for Critical
cringe.
Role.
But you can't tell me this is not a cringy opening. But props to them. It's like we're watching Vox Machina. And actually, what was that? Is that CGI? Like a tentacle? Oh yeah, look at that CGI tentacle. Phenomenal stuff. Season 2 animated was the best. Yeah, I also like the current or latest one, which is also animated. The animated one's the best. But you can see here, amazing. You can see that they have 17,000 subscribers at this point. On the bottom left there. Which means at this point they were probably making, like, getting 2 books per subscriber. So they were probably making between $35,000 and $40,000 for this show. Which, when you think about it, is nowhere near enough for 7 of them, right? Like, you could figure out how much each person was getting, but there was also, like, Geek and Sundry were probably taking a cut. And they probably had, like, staff members at the time. Taliesin got put on a do not fly list for bringing that fake gun to a convention. Amazing. That is nightmare fuel, by the way. That mask turning into... It's nightmare fuel. Like, they did some proper VFX in this. Whose face is that? Who is that? It's so creepy. Phenomenal. Oh my god, how many episodes in the first season?
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Nice
Nobody
to see
did it.
Critical Role.
Can't do
Where
it bad.
everyone does nerdy ass voice actors. Sit
Well, hold on.
Welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. Nice try, motherfuckers. Anyway, welcome to tonight's
120?
Finishing up.
So did they
shooting
keep that
on Blind
same
Spot,
starting credits?
So she'll pop in.
And I should say, these opening credits are phenomenal, like, compared to, like, the previous ones. They're really, really awesome. I guess not even 120. In fact, I think 115. I think that was the finale. Chapter closes.
Honestly, like, some of the best friends and players I could ever hope for to come along on this journey. Trust me enough to build this with you and to give back so much more than I could have ever hoped.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Oh.
Best GM ever.
Oh, they're all crying.
You guys make it all easy and worthwhile.
Oh, fuck.
Love you guys.
Shit. Yay.
Oh my god, that's
And
really long.
love you guys. each and every one of you out there who've come with us in this journey, new, old, for just a bit or the entire length, some of you multiple times. Thank you for joining in on whatever this weird, little, magical, curious experience has and will continue to be. Just promise me you'll be good.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
I wonder if they knew they were going to get a second season at that point. Like a second campaign. You're on episode 98 of campaign 1 right now. Oh, well, I'm not out to show spoilers. So if there are any, I'm sorry. And then, what was the campaign 2 opening credits like?
Hello, everyone.
Oh, it's the one where they're in the 80s? This is a solid opening. Oh, you've had all the spoilers. Nerdy home game. They probably didn't really know what their characters were like fully yet, so they couldn't show that off. So this is just a fun way of like, yeah, setting the vibe. And I truly, do you think this is truly what they were all like when they were like teenagers? Always a dice goblin. Matt rocks that leather jacket. Amazing stuff. Yeah, the animators came after 17D Beyond song, which is great. Is that the next one? Let's jump into episode 20. You can see that I've watched these. 30?
2 to be exact. And some horses that'll make up for Waterloo and...
No,
2.
same.
Shady Creek Run outside.
I guess it's when the thumbs stop being in that style. 2 episode 60. Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy
Yeah,
ass
this
sit
is the-
around and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Many people think the best one. It's a song as well.
All right, I believe that ends our announcements. And as such,
Tarzan's Eldritch Power is activated. Never gonna
tonight's
age.
Episode of Critical Role.
I just realized as well, all these are gonna get silenced in the VOD because last time I looked at Critical Role, I watched the opening and the music got copyrighted. But it is what it is. The animation in this is so good. And the music is phenomenal. And it's the fact that they're all singing it. Well, that's my voice. The fact they're all singing it is so good.
Beside you, your nerdy best friends, and the DM to guide you, and they rise from the flames for the battles.
Also, it goes a really long way, just like being able to visualize the characters the way they see them. It's really useful. is so cool.
And welcome back.
M9 live shows the whole audience sang. Yeah, I can imagine that was amazing. 10 out of 10, perfection. We thinking that's the best one? I should do a video where we just rank. We just do a tier list of the best Critical Role openings and Dimension 20 openings, like actual play openings, what's the best. But I wouldn't be able to make that video because the music would all be copyrighted, so it's kind of annoying. This one is so good, it should be an example for the upcoming Mighty 9 animated. Yeah, I agree. Then what came after that? They had the one where it was live action again, and they were all dressed up as like, they were going through temples and stuff, right? How many? Were there 300 episodes? Am I going insane? No. It was 140 episodes. Is that how many there were? Of campaign 2? 141 fond farewells.
It's complicated, but
Wait.
it has been nice.
Where's the opening?
With various weeds.
Where's the opening?
That works at the international, regional, and national levels to research, document, defend, and advance human.
It looks like you've certainly done your.
Oh, there it is. That's the same thing again. So, wow, they had that for like the whole campaign. Episode 1 of this season, was that the one where they're like
rocks that have metal in them, and the
oh my god, what is this ad?
They chose to sponsor me.
God damn it, Sam.
Spent their commercial budget properly.
God damn it.
I've finally broken through and earned some validation.
Okay.
My face hurts. Special
Opening credit. What are the opening credits?
And then you can stay up to date on our weekly schedules. A lot of people have been hitting me up on Twitter.
Where travelers and traders rumored that they're in with connected.
I just don't think they had one in episode 1, I guess.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons.
New viewers.
All of our now.
Oh. Oh, they didn't have one in episode 2 either. Okay, what about episode 10?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode.
Matt, hack to you.
Goddamn.
Totally.
Goddamn
Oh,
ads.
thanks.
So I actually think this is a really solid
15 days
opening
away
credits.
from the day 28th and allocated to unfat your
When I find it. Yeah, this is a really solid opening credits as well. It's got really good production value. Like that's those are some great shots. And then the music just cannot be beaten. And these shots are so great. With the slow-mo. I've got a lot of time for it. chills. Absolute chills. All right. It is coming to 5:30 now. We have gone back in time through Critical Role's history. But I do need to go and prepare for my D&D game, guys. So thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. And I will catch you guys next time. Have a really good night and have a really good weekend, guys. Have a great day night, indeed. All right, catch you guys later. Bye now.